The champagne flute slips from my trembling fingers. Don't move, Yu Daquan's voice cuts through the ballroom chatter, low and commanding in my ear. His hand grips my waist possessively as Baek Chi-won approaches us with that predatory smile. He can smell fear, Haebyum. And right now you reek of it. My husband. The word still feels foreign in my mind. This man, Korea's most powerful so, the one whose face graces every business magazine, is supposedly my husband. And I have absolutely no memory of marrying him. Daquan Chi-won purrs, his eyes raking over me like I'm something to be consumed. You've been hiding something delicious. Won't you introduce us properly? Daquan's fingers dig into my hip, a silent warning. My spouse. That's all you need to know. But Chi-won leans closer, inhaling deliberately. His eyes widen with sick delight. An Omega. You married an Omega and kept it secret for 6 months. He laughs, sharp and cruel. Does your little wife know what kind of monster you really are? My suppressants. They're wearing off. I can feel it, that telltale warmth creeping up my spine, the way Chi-won's eyes are beginning to dilate. Panic claws at my throat. Excuse us, Daquan says coldly, already steering me away. We barely make it to the private elevator before my knees buckle. 12 hours earlier, I woke up to Egyptian cotton sheets that cost more than my monthly rent. This wasn't my bed. This wasn't my cramped studio apartment in Gangnam. And that definitely wasn't my reflection in the floor-to-ceiling windows, dressed in silk pajamas I'd never owned, wearing a platinum band on my ring finger that caught the morning light like an accusation. You're awake. I nearly screamed. Yu Daquan stood in the doorway of what I now realized was a massive penthouse bedroom, holding 2 cups of coffee. The CEO of Yu Corporation. My boss's boss's boss. The man whose photo hung in our company lobby, who I'd only glimpsed once from across a conference room. He was in his apartment. Shirtless. Looking at me like this was completely normal. What? Where? My voice came out strangled. What am I doing here? Something flickered across his perfect features. Disappointment? It vanished too quickly to tell. You don't remember. It wasn't a question. Remember what? I clutched the sheets, my heart hammering. Did you? Nothing happened last night. He set the coffee on the nightstand with careful precision. I slept in the guest room as always. As always? He pulled a folder from the dresser and handed it to me. Perhaps this will help. My hands shook as I opened it. Marriage certificate. Dated 6 months ago. My signature, definitely my signature, next to his. Contract terms. Financial arrangements. A clause about mutual discretion and separate living arrangements during the adjustment period. This is insane, I whispered. We're not. We are. Daquan's voice was flat, emotionless. Legally, you've been my spouse for 6 months. You came to me during your heat cycle, desperate. You'd been drugged at a club. I took you to the hospital, but you were terrified, begging me not to leave you alone. You asked me to marry you for protection. I agreed. The room spun. I would never. You don't remember because the drug affected your memory. He turned away, staring out at the Seoul skyline. I've been giving you space. Separate apartments, minimal contact. I thought. He paused, his jaw tightening. I thought you needed time. Why now? My voice came out smaller than I intended. Why bring me here today? Because Baek Chi-won is back in Korea. The name came out like poison. My business rival. And he's been asking questions about you. Me? But I'm nobody. I work in accounting. You work in my company. Daquan finally turned to face me, and the intensity in his dark eyes made my breath catch. You're my legal spouse. And Chi-won has a history of destroying everything I care about. Everything I care about? The words hung between us, heavy with meaning. There's a gala tonight, he continued, his tone shifting back to businesslike. Major shareholders, board members, competitors. Chi-won will be there. I need you beside me, playing the role of devoted spouse. After tonight, if you want to void the contract, I'll arrange it. But I need this one night. I stared at the ring on my finger. 6 months. How had I lost 6 months of my life? My suppressants, I said suddenly. At work, everyone thinks I'm a beta. If I go to this gala and someone realizes, I'll have new suppressants delivered within the hour. Medical grade. Nothing will slip. He moved closer, his presence overwhelming. Habium, I know this is unfair. I know you must hate me for binding you to this contract when you were vulnerable. But I swear on my life, I will keep you safe. There was something in his eyes then, something desperate and hungry and terrifyingly sincere. I should have run. Should have called a lawyer, my best friend Jin Myong-soo, anyone. Instead, I heard myself say, one night. The relief that flooded his expression was almost painful to witness. Thank you, he whispered. Neither of us knew that by tonight's end, everything would shatter. The coffee cup shatters against my apartment wall. You're married? Jin Myong-soo's voice cracks with betrayal. For 6 months, Habium? And you didn't think to mention it. I didn't remember, I start, but he's already pacing my tiny living room like a caged animal. To you, Daekwon. The you, Daekwon. He laughs bitterly. My best friend since college, and I don't even know you anymore. I can't tell him the rest. Can't tell him about the pregnancy test hidden in my bathroom trash, the 2 pink lines that appeared this morning. 3 weeks since the gala. 3 weeks since Daekwon returned to his business trips, leaving me alone in this apartment he's apparently been paying for. 3 weeks since I've seen my husband's face. Myong-soo, please. A knock interrupts us. We both freeze. I open the door to find Park Jum-suk, Daekwon's secretary, standing in the hallway with an umbrella and an expression carved from ice. Mrs. Yu, she says, and I hate how the title makes my stomach flip. We need to talk. Alone. Myong-soo bristles. Habium doesn't have to. It's fine, I murmur, though nothing feels fine. I'll call you later. He leaves reluctantly, shooting Jum-suk a distrustful glare. The moment the door closes, she turns to me with unsettling intensity. Be careful who you trust, she says without preamble. What? Your friend. Jin Myong-soo. She moves to my window, checking the street below. How much do you know about his connection to Baek Chi-won? My blood runs cold. Myong-soo doesn't know Chi-won. They met twice last week. I have photos. She pulls out her phone, and there it is. Myong-soo at a cafe, sitting across from Chi-won's distinctive silver-haired figure. I don't know what they discussed, but... Get out. My voice shakes. You're lying. You're trying to isolate me from... Your husband isn't who you think he is. Jum-suk's expression softens slightly, almost pitying. Has he told you why he really married you? The question lands like a physical blow. He said I asked him to. During my heat after being drugged. Did he tell you he's been watching you for over a year? She pulls out another folder. God, why does everyone have folders about my life? Surveillance photos. You at your favorite cafe. Outside your old apartment. At the bookstore you visit every Saturday. My hands tremble as I flip through them. December, 8 months before our marriage. January. February. All of me, unaware, living my life while someone's camera clicked away. He's a stalker, I whisper. He's obsessed. Jum-soo corrects quietly. There's a difference. But you deserve to know the truth before. Before what? She hesitates. Before you're in too deep to get out. Too late, I think, pressing a hand to my still flat stomach. Way too late. After she leaves, I tear apart my apartment looking for answers. Nothing. No hidden cameras, no more photos. Just my ordinary life, now feeling like an elaborate stage. I need my medical records. Need to know what really happened that night 6 months ago. The hospital is a nightmare of bureaucracy, but finally, a sympathetic nurse pulls up my file from March. Her expression shifts. Ma'am, are you sure you want? Just show me. She turns the screen. My records from that night are there, but they're wrong. All wrong. The timestamps don't match. The attending physician's name has been changed. I recognize it now as one of you corporation's board members. Even my blood work has been altered. Someone's been tampering with these, the nurse whispers, glancing around nervously. This could cost me my job, but you should know, the original files were sealed by court order. Someone with serious power wanted this buried. I barely make it outside before vomiting into a planter. Daekwon. It has to be Daekwon. He erased evidence, manipulated records, trapped me in a marriage I can't even remember consenting to. And now I'm carrying his child. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. Come to the address below. Alone. If you want the truth about your husband. PG. Jim's. Part of me knows this is a trap. But the larger part, the part that's terrified and pregnant and desperately needs answers, is already calling a taxi. The address leads to a traditional Hanok house in Buckshin. Jung-suk opens the door before I can knock. Thank you for coming, she says, and something about her tone has changed. Softer. Almost sisterly? I know you don't trust me, but we don't have much time before he realizes you're here. Before who? My brother. She meets my eyes, and suddenly I see it, the same sharp jawline, the same intense gaze. Yu Daekwon is my younger brother. And yes, he's been watching you for a year, but not for the reasons you think. She leads me to a room filled with old photographs. Newspaper clippings. A child's drawing of two boys at a beach. 15 years ago, Jung-suk begins. Daekwon nearly drowned at Haeundae Beach. A teenage boy jumped in and saved him. By the time our parents arrived, the boy was gone. But Daekwon never forgot his face. She hands me a water-damaged photograph. Two boys, maybe 13 and 15. One of them is unmistakably young Daekwon. The other is me. That's impossible, I breathe. I don't remember. Trauma can cause memory loss. You had a head injury that day. We found blood on the rocks. Jung-suk's expression is grave. Daekwon has been searching for you for 15 years. When he finally found you last year, working in his own company, he couldn't stay away. My phone rings. Daekwon's name flashes on the screen. I'm about to answer when Jung-suk's expression shifts to horror. Haebyum, she whispers, staring at her own phone. We need to leave. Now. But, what? She turns her screen toward me. A live news broadcast. U Corporation's headquarters. Police cars. Crime scene tape. The headline scrolls across the bottom. Seo Daekwon's office ransacked. Executive missing. And taped to his office window, visible even on the shaky camera footage, is a note large enough to read. If you want your husband back, come alone. You know where. BC. My fingers are numb as I grip the note Jung-suk handed me. Pier 7. Midnight. Come alone or he dies. BC. You can't go, Jung-suk says, but her voice sounds distant, underwater. It's exactly what Chi-won wants. He'll use you to. He has Daekwon. My voice doesn't sound like mine. My husband. My husband. When did those words start meaning something real? I'm already grabbing my coat when Jung-suk catches my arm. Wait, there's more you need to know. About that night at the club a year ago. I don't have time. You weren't randomly drugged, Haebyum. Her grip tightens. Baek Chi-won targeted you specifically. He'd been investigating Daekwon's past, found out about the beach incident, tracked you down. He wanted to bond with you himself, to torture Daekwon by taking the one person he'd been searching for. The room tilts. What? Daekwon was at that club following Chi-won, trying to gather evidence of his illegal activities. When he saw Chi-won slip something in your drink, he intervened. Fought him off. Got you out. She pulls out her phone, showing me grainy security footage I've never seen. Two figures struggling in a club's back hallway. Daekwon throwing a punch. Chi-won's cold smile as he backs away. Then Daekwon lifting my unconscious body, his expression devastated. The hospital, the marriage, it was all to protect you legally. If you were his spouse, Chi-won couldn't touch you without going through Daekwon first. Jung-suk's eyes shine with unshed tears. My brother loves you. He's loved you since he was 12 years old. But he was too afraid you'd hate him for trapping you, so he kept his distance, planning to let you go after 6 months when the threat passed. I can't breathe. Can't think. The pregnancy test. The altered medical records. The surveillance photos. He was protecting me, I whisper. Obsessively. Imperfectly. But yes. She releases my arm. And now Chi-won has him, and you're thinking of walking into a trap while carrying my brother's child. I freeze. How did you? I'm a secretary. I notice everything. A sad smile. Including when my sister-in-law starts drinking ginger tea and avoiding coffee. Sister-in-law. The word cracks something open in my chest. Then you know I have to go, I say quietly. I can't lose him. Not when I finally understand. My phone buzzes. Jean Myong's. Haebyum, I'm sorry. I messed up. I'm at the warehouse on Pier 7. Chi-won tricked me. He has Daekwon. Please don't come alone. It's a trap within a trap, Jung-suk says, reading over my shoulder. Your friend led you there whether he knows it or not. Then we spring it. I meet her eyes. You said we don't have much time. So let's stop wasting it. Pier 7. 11:47 p.m. The warehouse looms like a rotting corpse against the harbor lights. My footsteps echo too loud on the concrete. Every shadow could be Chi-won. Every sound could be Daekwon's last breath. Right on time. Chi-won emerges from the darkness, and my skin crawls. And alone, just like I asked. How obedient. Where is he? Straight to business. I like that. He circles me slowly. Do you know why Daekwon really married you, little Omega? Not to protect you, but to own you. To make sure the boy who saved him, the one pure thing in his miserable childhood, would be his forever. That's not true. Isn't it? Chi-won's smile is poisonous. He erased your medical records. Stalked you for a year. Trapped you in a contract you don't even remember signing. What do you call that if not possession? Love. The word comes out steady, certain. Imperfect, desperate love. Chi-won's expression darkens. Then let's test it. He pulls out a remote. Overhead lights flood the warehouse, revealing Daekwon bound to a chair in the center, bloodied but alive. His eyes widen in horror when he sees me. Haebyum, no. His voice cracks. Why did you come? You were supposed to be safe. I came to tell you something, I call out, ignoring Chi-won completely. I remember. The beach. The waves. Pulling you out of the water. I remember everything. Daekwon goes still. And I came to tell you that I'm pregnant. Chi-won finishes, his voice dripping with malice. Yes, I know. My inside source was very thorough. Jin Myong-soo stumbles out from behind a container, his face pale with guilt. Haebyum, I'm so sorry. He threatened my family, said he'd hurt them if I didn't. It's okay, I say, because somehow it is. Everything is suddenly, perfectly clear. No, it's not okay. Daekwon's voice is raw. Haebyum, I'm sorry. For everything. The stalking, the contract, the lies. You deserve so much better than a man who's loved me for 15 years? Who saved me from a predator? Who kept his distance because he thought that's what I needed? I take a step toward him. You're right. I deserved honesty. But I also deserved the chance to choose you back. Chi-won laughs. How touching. But none of that matters now. Glass shatters. Windows explode inward. Black-clad figures rappel through the openings. Security, police, SWAT. Jung-suk walks through the front entrance with a detective, holding up her phone. Every word recorded and live-streamed to the prosecutor's office, she announces. Your confession about drugging Haebyum, threatening Jin Myong-soo's family, kidnapping my brother. It's all evidence now, Chi-won. His face contorts with rage. He lunges for me, but I'm already moving, not away, but toward Daekwon. Toward my husband. The tackle takes us both down. Pain explodes in my side as I hit the concrete, Daekwon's chair toppling with us. But I'm covering him with my body, protecting him the way he's been trying to protect me. The way I once pulled him from drowning waves. I've got you, I whisper against his bloody temple. I've always got you. Police swarm Chi-won. Jung-suk cuts Daekwon's bonds. And as my husband's arms finally wrap around me, truly, desperately, without barriers, I feel his tears against my neck. The baby, he chokes out. Are you hurt? Is the baby? We're fine. We're both fine. I pull back to meet his eyes. But we need to talk. About everything. No more secrets. No more secrets, he agrees, pressing his forehead to mine. Starting with this, I love you. I've loved you since I was 12. And if you'll let me, I'll spend the rest of our lives proving I can be the husband you deserve. Ambulance sirens wail in the distance. You already are, I whisper. The hospital room smells like antiseptic and regret. You shouldn't have come. Daekwon's voice is hoarse, his hand gripping mine like I might disappear. You were pregnant. You could have been. But I wasn't. I brush the hair from his bandaged forehead. We weren't. The ultrasound photo sits on the bedside table. 8 weeks. A tiny blob that's somehow already everything. Jin Myongsu hovers in the doorway, still pale with guilt. I'll come back later. Stay, Daekwon says, surprising us both. You were protecting your family. I understand that better than anyone. His eyes find mine. I've made worse choices trying to protect the people I love. Jim-suk enters with coffee, her CO sister authority fully activated. The prosecutor wants your statement tomorrow, Daekwon. Chaiwon's been charged with kidnapping, assault, attempted forced bonding, and about 15 other crimes. He won't see daylight for 20 years. Good. Daekwon's jaw tightens. And the evidence about the club incident? All submitted, including the surveillance footage of him drugging Haebyum. She glances at me apologetically. It'll be part of the public record during trial. I'm sorry. I shrug, trying to seem braver than I feel. Let everyone know. I'm tired of secrets. Daekwon's thumb traces circles on my palm. Haebyum about the marriage contract. I want you to know, I'll void it if that's what you want. You can walk away. I'll support you and the baby, but you don't owe me. Stop. I press my finger to his lips. Let me finish what I tried to say in that warehouse. He goes quiet, those dark eyes watching me with terrifying vulnerability. I came to tell you that I'm pregnant. And I'm terrified. And I don't remember marrying you, but I remember saving you. I remember the way you looked at me when you thought I was dying, like I was your whole world. My voice cracks. I want to remember our wedding, Daekwon. So let's do it again. For real this time. You want to marry me? He sounds like he can't quite believe it. I want to choose you. Consciously. Completely. I lean closer. I want the ceremony, the vows, the terrible wedding cake. I want our friends there. I want to look you in the eyes and say, I do, while actually knowing what I'm agreeing to. A tear slides down his bruised cheek. I don't deserve you. Probably not, I agree, smiling. But you're stuck with me anyway. Jin Myongsu clears his throat. So, am I invited to this wedding or? We laugh, all of us, even Jim-suk, and it feels like exhaling after holding my breath for 6 months. 3 months later, I'm going to kill whoever invented bow ties. Stop fidgeting, Myongsu scolds, adjusting my collar for the 5th time. You look perfect. I look pregnant. You look happy. He meets my eyes in the mirror. And I'm sorry. For doubting you. For almost ruining everything by trusting Chiwon. You were protecting your family. I get it now. I place a hand on my rounded stomach. I do terrible things to protect this baby too. The venue is a private garden overlooking the Han River, decorated with white roses and fairy lights. Nothing like the business gala where this all started. This is intimate. Ours. Jim-suk appears in the doorway, elegant in a navy dress. Ready? Your husband is about to wear a hole in the aisle from pacing. He's not my husband yet, I point out. Technically, he has been for 9 months. She smirks. But who's counting? The music starts. My heart hammers as I step outside. And there he is. Yu Daekwon, in a perfectly tailored black suit, looking at me like I hung the moon and stars. His eyes are already glistening with tears. I walk toward him, no one giving me away because I'm giving myself freely this time, and when I reach him, he takes my hands like there's something precious. Hi, I whisper. Hi, he breathes back. The officiant begins, but I barely hear the words. I'm too busy memorizing this, the way the sunset gilds Daekwon's hair, the way his hands tremble slightly in mine, the way our baby kicks as if celebrating with us. Written your own vows, the officiant says. Daekwon clears his throat. Haebyum, I've loved you since I was 12 years old. Since you pulled me from the ocean and gave me my life back. I spent 15 years searching for you, and when I finally found you, I was so afraid of losing you that I held on too tight. His voice breaks. I made mistakes. I kept secrets. I protected you in all the wrong ways. But if you'll let me, I want to spend the rest of our lives doing better. Being better. Loving you the way you deserve, honestly, openly, without fear. Tears blur my vision. Daekwon, I don't remember the first time we got married. But I'll remember this moment forever. I choose you, your obsessive protectiveness, your terrible communication skills, your habit of making decisions for me. Soft laughter ripples through our guests. But I also choose your loyalty, your desperate love, your willingness to change. You're not perfect. Neither am I. But we're perfect for each other. I do, we say together, not waiting for the officiant's cue. The kiss tastes like salt from our tears and promises we'll actually keep this time. The reception. We're slow dancing under string lights when Daquan leans down to whisper in my ear. I know you still don't remember everything from that night we married, he murmurs, his breath warm against my skin. So let me spend the rest of our lives making new memories you'll never forget. I kiss him, long and deep and full of every emotion I can't name. When we part, I whisper back. We already started. 6 months from now, someone will be calling you Dad. His hand splays across my stomach, protective and reverent. I can't wait to meet them. To tell them about how their Appa saved me first, long before I ever saved him. We saved each other, I correct softly. Yeah, he agrees, pressing his forehead to mine. We did. Across the garden, Jean Myongsu raises his glass in a toast. Jung-suk dabs her eyes with a handkerchief. The fairy lights twinkle like stars. And for the first time in 9 months, I feel completely, perfectly at peace. This is real. This is ours. This is the beginning we both deserved. Epilogue 1 year later. Houndy Beach. The same stretch of sand where everything began. Our daughter, Yusolbai, 6 months old with Daquan's eyes and my stubborn chin, splashes in the shallow waves while I hold her steady. Right there, Daquan points to a spot near the rocks. That's where I was drowning. And there, he moves closer, wrapping his arms around us both. That's where you ran in without hesitation. You couldn't have been more than 15. 14, I correct, the memory finally clear after so many years. I was 14 and terrified. But I couldn't just watch you die. You saved my life that day. He kisses my temple. And every day since. Solbai giggles, grabbing for the water. Our wedding rings catch the sunlight, matching bands engraved with coordinates of this beach. Thank you, Daquan says quietly, for giving me a second chance. For choosing me twice. I lean back against his chest, watching our daughter discover the ocean that once tried to take her father from the world. I'd choose you 1,000 times, I tell him. In every lifetime. Every version of this story. He holds us tighter. Every version of us. The waves roll in, gentle and endless, carrying away the past and bringing us toward whatever comes next. Together,